Hey, it's Amy and Gina.
Welcome to In the Burbs. We are live, Amy.
I'm going to push this back.
And not so far.
Yes.
Hey, we're
there.
back.
Everybody looks better further away.
Yes, we
Gina,
do.
is this on? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay, first of all, we got to say
let's jump right
anniversary to Stan and Gina.
Oh, thank you.
How many years? You will not believe it.
It's been a long time. It's more than 20 and it's more than 30 and we're about to hit 40 in a few years. It's actually 37 years.
37
years. Which makes me sound so old. Here it is. Here we are. Oh, I look so scared and so young. And you can tell it's a 1988 wedding. Get the dust off. Look at all the hair.
I love the hair.
Look at all the hair Stan has.
Such a beautiful...
Sorry,
Such a
Stan.
nice couple, and you guys have weathered many storms and have 3 beautiful children.
Oh, yeah. Marriage is hard. I mean, let's face it. 37. I'm still here, as they say. It's cheaper to keep her. Okay, moving right along.
Moving on.
Okay, so Anna's been in Mexico.
Anna's in Mexico, and I did not approve so much so that I didn't pay for it. I said 6 months ago. I think you should turn that. Thank you. 6 months ago, she said, I want to go to Mexico. And I said, you know what? With this election coming up, there's a lot of focus on immigration, particularly coming through Mexico. I don't think it's safe. And she's like, I'm going anyway. So she had to pay for it herself. So every day I've been texting her and just saying, are you still alive? And so far, she's still alive.
I mean, it's funny, not funny, but I agree with you. I mean, there's stuff happening right now that, that girl that's missing in, the Dominican that went on a spring break trip. Well, I think it was a high school graduation or something, a senior trip.
And all the fentanyl. I was like, And she goes, I'm going to be at the resort. I go, guess who owns the resorts?
Yeah.
Hotels. Yeah. But so then I went to my tennis match and I was complaining to Vanessa. And she goes,
Who's Vanessa?
She lives in Hickory and she's a
I don't know Vanessa. Okay.
And she said, oh my gosh, no, my son's down there and I'm going down next week. I'm like, huh? So it's still a spring break place to
There's
go.
A lot of spring
If you're thinking
breakers.
about spring break, I looked up the State Department, Gina.
Yeah.
And it said increased kidnapping.
Oh my
gosh.
Kind
of like
they actually said increased kidnapping.
Yeah, you can go to the State Department and you can look at like what the issues are.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway,
hopefully she'll be home safely tomorrow.
If it's a question of your kids going on vacation, it costs $500 more to send them someplace safer.
Send them.
I say send them someplace safer.
I agree, 1,000%. Okay. Amy, we got to break it down. White Lotus. Are we going with that first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Piper note. Tsunami. Buddhism.
Timothy works so hard.
He works so hard. You know who we're talking about? Parker Posey, who plays Virginia Ratliff.
I don't think they've ever used her name. I had to look up her name.
I wasn't sure of it either.
I've never heard. They call her mom or whatever, but
you don't
I've
hear
never heard
him.
Somebody say Virginia Ratliff.
Does he call her Jenny?
I've never heard him.
Because Virginia, isn't Jenny like a nickname for Virginia?
I wouldn't him say Virginia.
She calls him Tim. Tim, you're not acting like yourself. So anyway, episode 5 was Sunday night, 9:00, HBO Max. If you're not watching, why are you not watching? You need to be watching. This is like a phenomenon.
It's heating up.
And there's the biggest gripe, and I've seen so many reels and TikToks about people. The biggest complaint about White Lotus overall is what, Amy? It's slow. And people get frustrated and they don't stick with it.
I keep striking myself.
And it's getting hurt. But you have to give it time. That's the way Mike White operates. He's the creator, the writer, the director. And he's very slow and methodical. And as you watch, there's all kinds of hints going on. There's all kinds of things that you miss. You almost have to watch it twice. And I'm not good at picking up those little hints.
And then Gina strikes like a cobra.
Yeah. So episode 5 was tricky. It was interesting. Go ahead and let's highlight a couple of the big things that happened.
Okay, well, the problem is I skipped a week because we were out of town.
Yeah.
So I watched episode 4 and 5.
Oh,
and so then I can't remember which is 4 and which is 5.
Okay, well, go ahead. I'll try to help you.
Timothy writes a suicide note.
Right.
And he gets the gun from the cute guy that works at the front. Who should not be in security.
The little security guard.
He should give out gifts. Say hello, show people to their rooms, maybe become a massage therapist.
And he's so nice. His name is Gay Talk. Isn't that his
Yeah.
name on
And
the
then
show?
he left his post to go try to get that gun. And Gina, you said it. Tell him about the exchange in the bathroom where he knows that Timothy stole his gun.
Right,
because he's watched the video footage, so he follows him to the bathroom.
Ratliff, the dad. Yeah, he took the gun and he looked at video camera footage and saw that he took it. Yeah. But he didn't. He approached him and he goes, "You have something of mine."
Tim goes, "No, I don't."
Tim like, "No, I don't," and that was it. And he didn't pursue it. He wasn't assertive or aggressive about it, and that was it.
No. And then meanwhile, his manager's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just watching her dancing." And
he's too nice to be a security guard.
Who's watching the gate? Who's watching the gate? So he's doesn't watch the gate.
No.
And he's misplaced a gun. He left it out, and now one of the guests has it, and something bad could happen. But anyway,
he's obsessed with the girl.
She's so pretty,
the little actress.
So Timothy,
and she's in some kind of K-pop girl band. I don't know her real name.
In real life, super famous.
And super famous. Yeah.
Yes.
Like she's super famous over there.
Okay. Having microphone troubles. So he wrote the suicide note, and then Virginia, his wife comes in.
She goes, "Tim, you can't sleep." And he goes, obviously, because he's sitting up in the middle of the night writing a suicide note.
Yes.
I don't see him committing suicide. We don't know. Somebody's going to die.
He's in the perfect place. Remember when they were on the yacht and she said, well, all those people are just avoiding their taxes, or I bet some of them have committed murder. That's what she said. And so maybe they'll have to live there forever. And he'll try to convince her, be like, "Oh, our daughter's staying over here. She can't stay here by herself for her meditation.
Right.
We have to stay here so you can lay low for a while."
Maybe.
Like Rick.
On to Rick. Okay, let's talk about Rick.
Rick was an episode. It was in season 1. Who played Jennifer Coolidge's husband, and he is wanted for questioning.
Isn't Walton Goggins Rick?
Yeah.
No, he was not in season 1. That's Gary. That's the other. That's Greg. But he's changed his name to Gary. He was married to Jennifer Coolidge.
Right. I'm speaking.
Her name was Tanya.
He's now Gary.
He's going by Gary.
Okay, sorry, wrong guy. They're both bald.
He was in season 1, and so he has come back, and Belinda is on to him, and so she should be a little worried.
Right. And so she goes to the manager,
be scared.
And she's whispering. She's like, "There's this guy that I saw in Maui." And she goes through and she's like, "And now he's wanted for questioning." And the guy said, "For what?" And she's like, "For the murder of his wife." And what did the guy say, Gina? The manager.
I don't remember.
He said, "I'm sure I'll be fine."
Oh, yeah, that's right. She just blew her off. Just like, don't worry about it.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And we don't like to... People have passed, and we don't want to interrupt the guests.
No negativity. We're in the White Lotus.
And meanwhile,
no negativity.
He was asking about her.
Right.
I think she's unsafe.
She's unsafe, and her son is coming in the next episode, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, and also for people that want to know, when Tim went like this, and you could see his junk, that was fake junk. Prosthetic.
I cannot believe that. I mean, yeah. Timothy, the dad. That's from Durham, who we thought was going to commit suicide, but he didn't. Yeah, he was naked in episode 4. He did like his little robe. Well, he was on the lorazepam because he got into Virginia's pills and started taking all the pills. So he was just like out of it. And his robe opened up. His kids were mortified.
The best part is when Parker Posey laughed. Like she giggled, like it was something a wife would do. They would just giggle, and she thought it was funny.
Well, I guess they had to. I'm sure the scene was hysterical filming that, knowing that he had a prosthetic on.
Yes, he said, "It's like it's my fake D."
Oh, you know my God!
Scene today, and they said he was very excited, and everybody was very.
Well, I have to admit, and looking when the robe opened, we were all like, "Oh, okay. Well, interesting." But the character that I also love, since we're talking about the characters, is the guy that plays Rick, Walton Goggins,
who is from
Righteous Gemstones.
Yes, he's so funny. Baby Billy.
He's a great actor. He's just a great character actor because he can just about go into any type of character. Yes. Now, I got tired of Righteous Gemstones. I started it. It's another HBO show. You know, HBO usually does it right. Whatever they they're a little cutting edge, more so than some of the other streaming sites, don't you think?
Yes.
They pretty much put it. I mean, just look at the scenes going on with White Lotus. I mean, they're definitely.
There were also
risky.
naked Russians.
A lot of naked Russians. Yeah, lots of things flying around. But I like him. He's really funny. Walton is his name. Walton Goggins. He plays Rick. And he's got a real, we're going to find out stuff about him. But the monologue, we have to talk about that from episode 5 with Sam Rockwell, his friend in Bangkok.
That was
dear
bananas.
Lord above. And I just found out, we talked about this, Amy and I, in real life, Sam Rockwell is married
to
character
Jacqueline.
No,
the other one.
Leslie Bibb, who plays Kate.
Kate, the short hair one.
The blonde, the conservative one that apparently voted for Trump, but she said she's an independent. That whole scene, if you remember that from like episode 1 or 2. Yeah, I didn't know they were married in real life.
I know, and they've been together for decades. I
read. So do you think maybe because they filmed over there for 7 months, they brought their families and they needed this role filled, and Sam was like, "Oh, I'm here."
I think that.
I just wonder how that came about.
What's his name?
Mike White
is so smart that if Sam Rockwell was over there, he's probably like,
yeah,
where can I put him? Because that guy is so
he's
talented.
Good. He's a good character actor.
We'd love to hear what you think about that scene, because
it's great.
He looks kind of rough, and he brought a gun to Rick, and so you think he's still kind of in this rough lifestyle. And all of a sudden he's like, I'm clean now. He ordered an herbal tea,
chamomile,
and Rick is like, huh? And then he started talking about that. He's like, I just want to be an Asian woman.
Yeah, he had his monologue, but you got to go back and watch that and listen. It's pretty crazy. All right.
Okay, so on to the storyline of Kate, Lori, and Jacqueline.
The friends.
They got a little bored, and
what happened? And they went a little cray-cray, and they went out exploring the town, and they're hooking up with all these Russian guys.
And Jacqueline, who
Michelle Monaghan plays,
kept calling her husband or boyfriend,
right.
calling, cannot get a hold of him. She has revenge sex with the Russian.
Yep, with the guy that he works there at White Lotus. Yeah, whatever.
He hangs out with a rough crowd.
Yeah. He kind of changes when he gets out of his work environment.
Right. So Kate, she kicks all the boys out. She's like, "That's enough. This is getting crazy. Get out." But then,
baby, what do you call that? Booty call? I think booty call. Mm-hmm. That's what was going on.
We saw Carrie Coon's character, who is Laurie. She broke loose, whipped her top off, and she was having fun. And then, so I was just looking up, when I was looking stuff up about this. This is gossip, but she talked about it. In real life, she kind of has an open marriage with her husband.
Oh, which is crazy.
Which is bananas, but so Hollywood.
Hollywood. So White Lotus, Sunday night, we're going to be in we're in season 3. Sunday night will be episode 6. There's only 8 episodes, so we have 3 more. So stay with it. It's
who do you think's going to be murdered? We got to guess.
Either Belinda's son, because he's coming on late. He's coming on.
But we haven't grown to love him, so that wouldn't be shocking.
Or one of those girlfriends. One of the friends, one of the girls.
I think maybe
there's probably already signs.
I think maybe Gary may kill his French girlfriend as well.
Yeah. Actually,
she's not French; she's Canadian.
Actually, Gary's girlfriend. Yeah. That's on the list. I think
previously Greg.
Yep. So we'll find out.
Okay. Next, we wanted to talk about. They finally released the JFK Files, and I don't know if you're on X. But as people read it,
formerly Twitter.
They've been releasing the stuff. And I'd have to say so far because if you follow any of the JFK stuff, you already knew the CIA did it. Tell me what you guys think. And you also knew that Lee Harvey Oswald was married to a Russian and had Russian ties, and the whole Russian ties and the Russia going into Cuba, and JFK didn't want a war, and the United States wanted a war, and so they killed him. And so
how many pages?
80,000.
80,000 pages. People are going.
But tell them the bombshell. There was
one
bombshell
about George Bush Sr. because he was in the CIA at the time. So his name came up as part of being involved with all of this.
And you can read the
so that's a little that's probably the biggest bombshell. I mean, he's passed away.
Do you
think
that's
for the Bush
when
family?
Okay, so when Kash Patel and Trump talk about, or past presidents talk about why they won't release the files, do you think it's because Bush? That's so weird to me. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's not here now, but there's still plenty of Bushes living. So that's kind of tricky, but I don't know. I don't know, Amy.
Okay, so you can go and you can download
and read it.